It's fantastic to be here today, to be able to have so many great people in the room. When we started this small business in June 2006, we didn't have any aspirations other than to help private business owners that, as we've come to define, want to go somewhere. And what that has come to mean is those people that want to get up early, stay up late, think about their businesses and know that through their business they can really make a contribution. So what I wanted to share with you in 12 minutes is something about what we call Plan to Win. And in the history of our business, we've learned a couple of interesting things. And the first one is that if you want to go high, you have to go deep. And so I've never met a person leading a growing business that isn't a growing person. I've never met a person leading a growing business that isn't a growing person. And so in our business, we always start with the person. We start with the leadership. And we know that if you want to change the world, you've got to get people right. And if you want to change your business, you've got to get people right. Now, we're standing on the shoulders of giants when we say that if you want to change the world, you have to change the man. We know that. You've got to change the woman. You can't ask everyone else to be something other than what you are. And if you are leading a business, it's a good thing to remember that if your people just ended up like you, what would the business be like? If the people just read 10% of the business books that you read, what would the business be like? You know, 10% of nothing's not a lot. So it's really important that we are growing ourselves. My dad, who was a really great guy, he's dead now, said to me, Brett, here are two great books, How to Win Friends and Influence People and Think and Grow Rich. In Think and Grow Rich, the book says, if you want to be successful, meet some people who've done the things that you want to do and ask them how to do it. And even an event today comes from that idea. But it comes first from this idea that if you want to go high, you've got to go deep. Now, I was 22 and a half at this point in time. I didn't know anything. So I went to the who's who of Australia. And to tell you how long ago this is, 1997, it was still a book. So I looked up all the people that I was interested in. I wrote them a letter and I said, if you've got 10 minutes, could you meet with me? I've just got 11 questions and I'd love to ask them to you. And if you make 5,500 phone calls and you stick at it, most people will see you. And I got those people. I was told that you're not Ray Martin or Philip Adams, so who would want to read your book? And as it turned out, when I met Ray Martin and I said that to him, I said, well, look, Ray, I'm not Ray, but I figured that if you let me interview you and then you put it on your show, that'd work pretty well. He thought that was funny. Let me interview him, put it on the show, and we sold all the books. And the book was a national #1 bestseller in the week that Angela's Ashes was out, if anyone remembers that book. So it was a huge achievement. But what it showed me was that you can change your life. You can actually change your life. You can find out about a business you don't know anything about. I didn't know anything about book publishing, no experience, no expertise, none of that. But you actually can change things in a tiny little way. It was just a book. I called the book Collective Wisdom. I'd learned at this point that the most important thing in life was to grow in understanding, was to actually understand what it was that you were trying to do. So I started the business with a very clear idea that we just had to help people. And earlier you heard Angus Kennard talk about, you have to understand your why, you have to understand your purpose. I had this Pollyanna view that if you actually were in it to help people, you'd win. And anyone who's older than 50 in the room would know there was an old American speaker, Zig Ziglar, and he said that if you helped enough people, they'd help you. I found that to be an incredibly simple and effective formula. So we started...